This is my attempt to get ready with me now. I have put my primer on, which was this. I will take some photographs of everything after I finish so that you can see them properly. So I've done that, and now you see all these bits and bobs here. Well, that is because I am treating it with Effodex cream, which is fluorouracil for skin cancers. And this is the result after 2 weeks of applying it twice a day. Last time in one of my other videos, in 2012, I did it all over my face for an entire month, and it did look terrible. So you can have a look at that if you want to have a real look at what it can end up looking like. But for the moment, I'm only doing this bit of my face. Now, I have uneven skin tone because my face gets red and my eyelids are red because the skin is so thin, and I found this stuff called Erborian Korean Skin Therapy, CC Correct. So I thought I'd buy some because I've been looking for something to do this precise thing for ages. So it came in the post and I looked at it and it's green, which it would be if it's going to correct redness in your face. But look at this. Right, I'm going to put it on this side first. You don't need a ton of it. Right, this isn't any old special brush, it's an earth brush, it's only cheap and cheerful. Now, see all this redness I've got down the side of my nose? Had that for years. It's very irritating. I'm only doing this side of my face, you can see the before and after. But it does do something quite magical. I mean, considering my face on that side did look very blotchy just a minute ago. Put a little bit more on. Now, this is the side that doesn't have it. And this side, it goes from green to a foundation colour. And you know what? It's just perfect for my skin. What kind of sorcery is this? I ask you. It is some kind of sorcery. And this entire tube, which has 1.5 ounces, was £38. Now, I defy you to get a really good quality skin moisturizer come, what is it called? Foundation for £38 in that size. I'm seriously impressed. And look, I mean, I think they've all but gone. They've all but disappeared into the background. And frankly, when you've got these red marks all over your chops, you want something that's going to cover it up. Otherwise you start getting looks. And not in a nice way. People look at you as if saying, my God, what on earth has she done to her face? And when I was treating my face all those years ago, I didn't stay in, I went out. Because I wasn't looking at my face. But I did notice, oh, shouldn't have done that with some cream on, should I? Note to self, Do not apply with a brush on your eyelids, or at least a smaller brush. So when I was doing it in 2012, I did record it, but only for my own reference. But then, having got this channel, I put them up online. I think I had to put in a trigger warning because it did look absolutely horrible. And it just got worse and worse and worse. But look at that. I mean, isn't that kind of some kind of magic? All the skin down the side of my nose has become normal colour, and my eyelids have become not red. And that's nice for when you want to put your eyeshadow on. Step away from the mirror image and then have a look at what you're doing. I do that when I'm painting, you know. Just step away from the canvas. And really, when you think about it, putting your wall paint on is just that, isn't it? It's just, you know, putting on paint on your face to hopefully make it look a little better. Right. So, we've got this stuff on. So, I don't need to put foundation on because I've got this stuff. And I think it's enough. And the colour suits me. So, right now I'm going to put on Bobbi Brown's face powder in pale yellow, just to set the colour corrector on so it doesn't go away. Now I am doing this. Do you know, it always makes me think when somebody says on YouTube, on their channel, I've had so many requests for this video, and I think, oh, have you really? Have you really? Well, I've had two. I've had two, which isn't so many. It's only two that have asked for this. But you know, I'm trying to accommodate, no matter how ropey it is. So I'm doing this for Zentangle Tree, who asked me to do it. Little did she know what she was letting herself in for. And well, I got a message from a lady called Anna Saccone as well, and she was absolutely lovely, and she asked me about my skincare. She didn't actually ask for a makeup thing, but I think I'm a bit of a disappointment with the skincare. Well, I do skincare in fits and starts, but then I get distracted and then I can't be bothered. But I go in fits and starts with OBAGI. I know this looks back to front, or I suspect it looks back to front. And this is a skin lightener and blending cream. And it does work. I have got these, you know, brown marks in my face. I've had this one for years and it just looks like a great big freckle, but it's called a lentigo. And it's otherwise known as an age spot because oldies, you know, get them. And people get them on the tops of their hands where they don't put enough sunscreen on. And golfers get them on one hand because they're wearing a glove on the other hand. It does look quite macabre. Anyway, I don't have very nice hands. I have clean lady hands. You know, ones that have been in the hot water far too much. So I use that, and the effect of that is it lightens your skin and takes away a lot of the pigment. And if I put it on that religiously, it will go, but it does become red. I don't want to appear blotchy and horrible. Aside of this, you know, what can we do? I haven't been putting it on since I started my channel, but now I've got this cream, I think I might, and just show you what it can do. Now the other one I've got that was recommended to me by the lady at Skin Station is this number 4, EXFODERM FORTE, which is an exfoliator, and I put that on before I use the OBAGI 0.05 TRETINOIN cream. Now once I've got used to that, then I go up to the OBAGI TRETINOIN cream 0.1, which is much stronger, and that does make your skin exfoliate. It gets rid of all the, it makes your skin peel, and then you look like this crackly thing. So clearly I haven't been using that, but maybe if I get a little bit of time off, which I'm not going to do actually, I don't know why I'm saying this, you know, I'm just trying to encourage you. If I had a load of time off, then I would do it, for sure. But I'm not going to take the time off because I'm making videos, so I can't use that one. But I can use this 0.5, and that does take off all the dead skin cells and make you look younger. So if I look about 12 in my next video, you will definitely know what I've been doing. Right, enough of the waffle. So what am I doing next? Right, so now you see these eyebrows, well, they are cousins, not sisters. One is higher than the other and it gets on my pip. This one is lower, look at it. Now, I know it's not bad. I know I could live with it. Right, I've got MAC Pro Brow Definer, and this is in taupe. Now they do have this little brush that you can brush your eyebrows with, except I don't have any. I am of the era when we plucked and plucked and plucked until they were all but gone. And then I had such thin eyebrows that when I came to decide that I would have tattoos, I thought, sod it, I'm just going to shave off the rest. And I did. And I actually have cut the last 2 or 3 out. So I'm going to, still a little bit of a tremor. Let me just hold it. Now that's the height they need to be, both of them. Now I'm just going to fill that in. At some point, I'm going to have them redone, and I have had them lasered to try and get rid of them as they're wonky. Well, not wonky, unlevel. But it's really painful. I mean, it's seriously painful. Makes your eyes water and everything. And it's a cold laser that I go for. It's £70 a time. So then you have it done, and it takes about a minute a brow. So not a long time, but it feels like forever. And then you have to wait until they've recovered from that, and during that time the pigment is meant to come out. Now these eyebrows used to look a lot darker, so it has started, except for me it's not going quick enough. So I am not a patient. I need to make this one a little lower to match its distant cousin. This is a nice little brow pencil. It's soft and it's very fine, and it's one of those roll-up ones. Now, I can't remember how much it was, but being Mac, I doubt if it was cheap. But I thought I'd give it a go, and I have to say, so far I'm really pleased. So I will buy it again. Have you ever noticed that we ladies have a makeup face? You'll see mine at some point. You pull your face in that position when you, I don't know, you want to look sophisticated. And the youth of today do this. I always think how awful it looks. Well, that's my makeup face. I can't do it now. I don't think you can pull your makeup face when you're trying to. When you're trying to demonstrate it, it won't come. I think it's a bit like your resting cow face, which generally looks miserable. Right, that looks alright. Now I'm going to blot that bit in. Those eyebrows. Oops. And then I'm going to put on my eyeliner, which is by, this is a recent purchase as well. This is bronze and it's by Mercier. And it's Caviar Eyeliner Pencil. And it's really soft. It doesn't, when you're old and you've got wrinkly eyelids with a lot of loose skin, the last thing you want to do is use a dry pencil on it because it just drags your lids. Whereas this one is quite soft, so it glides on. So I'm going to follow this line. It's still shaking a bit. It's a work in progress, this Tremor thing. But look, I'm not dragging my eyelid. I'm really impressed with this Mercier eyeliner. I've seen before when I was on TikTok and Instagram, I used to see a lot of advertisements for women of my age and these sort of eyeliner pencils, and I thought, oh, I'll get one of those. Now the other thing I don't do is I don't line my bottom lids all the way around because frankly it just makes you look hard. I mean, yes, hard bitten, if you know what I mean. And who wants to look like that? I've watched this lady on the news, not recently because I've stopped watching the news, any news at all, nothing. since November the 5th, when I decided that there was much too divisiveness in the world. So I stopped watching the news, I've unsubscribed from tons of channels and that were political, and I'm looking after my mental health. Right, next thing is Laura Mercier. Oh, I've got a couple of bits in that place. It's matte eye colour, plum smoke. Now I had in mind a muted purple tone that I wanted to put on my eyes. And I searched and I searched. I went into Bentols. I went into John Lewis. And in the end, I got it from John Lewis, from the Laura Mercier place. Now, this I do need to drag across my eyelids, and it is, they are wrinkly. But then, there, it's coming along. What I'll do once I just go above my eyeline, because then it makes them look bigger. And then once I've done that, so that I don't look like a panda, which obviously if you start putting on too much, I can very quickly become a panda. And that's not a good look for anybody other than those black and white bears. Not even? Yeah. Just a bit more. I'll try putting a little bit underneath. Might have to wipe it off again, so here goes nothing. Just, that's enough. Less is more, as they say. Yeah, I don't go any further than the middle of my bottom lid. Otherwise it closes in your eyes. And generally I try to not stick it in my eye, but there you go. As I have put green cream on my lashes, don't you know, I'm going to put a bit of this Laura Mercier eyeliner pencil on my under eye and see if I can cover it up. Now, I once went to a Gemma Kid makeup demonstration, and the chap there, the makeup artist, offered to do my makeup. And afterwards, my friend Sarah said, God, you can do your makeup so much better than he did. It was a bit of a disappointment. I thought he was going to make me look gorgeous. But I didn't. But I did come away from there with a lot of teal coloured eyeliner pencils. And I've still got them. Obviously, I'm somebody who buys not just one, but several. And this is years later, and I've still got them brand new, working my way through them. know, the only thing I wouldn't change about myself is the length of my lashes. Because they've always been long. I can remember as a young girl, I decided that they were too long. So I cut them off nice and short. Nice and short. I can't believe I'm saying that. But I did. I only did it the once, obviously. But once I'd done it, I thought, oh, look at these nice short lashes. Right, this stuff is by Inglot. And I'm using that sort of pale pink colour. And I'm putting it over the edge. And smudging all that line out. And suddenly it doesn't look quite so in your face. It's a little bit more muted. There. And then I'm going to get a little bit of white. Put it there. With a little bit of white to highlight. Put it there. And then I am going to get some blusher, which seems odd when I've just taken down the colour of my face with that green cream, but you know, you only want a little bit where you want it. You don't want it all over the place, do you? I'll put a little bit there, not much. And put the other side. And then once I've finished playing around with that, then I will get this number 7 translucent finishing powder, and I'm going to dab it and take that down, that colour. Which looks a little bit better then. You don't need it to be so evident, do you? Next thing I'm going to do is I've got this Hydra setting powder, which is white, with hyaluronic acid. Well, frankly, I don't know what the hyaluronic acid in the powder will make any difference, because I don't think it will, but I like a bit of white powder because it does highlight quite well. And I'm going to put this here, going up into my temples, and here, same thing the other side. And it's vaguely white, but not too much. I'm going to get this brush. It's not an expensive brush. I don't use anything expensive. And I'm going to put it here. I'm going to get my pad, put some down the bottom here, brush out. I sound like that magician, don't I? Not a lot. Right, I think that's the face done. Or as done as I'm going to get it. I'm just going to put some mascara on. Hopefully not poke my eye out. Otherwise I'll have to turn up the stimulator again. That's not bad. I used to spend ages putting layer after layer of mascara on when I was younger. And then splitting the clumped layers up with a needle, health and safety. And I spent literally maybe not hours, but about 45 minutes doing my lashes. And they used to look fab by the end. About 15 feet long. I'm joking. But they did look nice. But these days, when it's a wonder that I can get any mascara on them at all, I don't spend nearly as much time with glass. I'm too lazy to take it off at night, so if it still looks reasonable the next morning, I just brush them and then stick more mascara on. And I know I'm going to get a whole ton of messages saying, "Oh, Virginia, you should do this, that, and the other." But frankly, I'm 60. I'm not bothered. I'm just not bothered. Well, I'm not bothered enough. And it doesn't come off on my pillowcases, so I suppose if it did, then I would. Because that's just creating myself extra work. But I think when you get older, you're allowed to do things you want to do. Otherwise, what's the point in getting older? I watch a lot of ladies doing their skincare regime. And I was talking to Katie the other day, and she was saying, first of all, they do this, and then they do that, and then they do something else, and then they do something else, and then they've got this cream, that lotion, and goodness knows what else, and then they've got the primer, and then they've got their makeup. Now, you would think that by the time they got all that cream on, that their face is about 3 feet wide. I just couldn't be bothered. And I suspect if I had, maybe my skin wouldn't have been as wrinkly as it is. I have been suffering a lot this last week with my neck. I mean, I don't mean just a little suffering. I mean the sort of suffering that it wakes you up in the middle of the night, despite using a neck pillow, and you have got a raging headache on the top of your head because this part of your neck, your suboccipital muscles here, are screaming. So just lately I've had to go to bed with a pain patch here, and I have made an appointment to have those suboccipital muscles treated with Botox, and it does work. If you get migraines, having Botox in these muscles around the base of your head, which get really, really tense, does stop, well, it certainly stops my migraines. Right, when I do my lips, as you can see, they're not massive. I mean, they're fine, but they're not massive. So what I tend to do is I'm of the opinion that you use your own lip line as a guide only. It's not a hard and fast rule, you have to stick to it. So if your lips are slightly lopsided or tiny bit out of shape, you can draw them in and make them a little better. Now, I wouldn't advocate drawing a thick line all over and way out of your lip line, but slightly over doesn't look too bad. And I'm going to show you now, look. See? I've obviously got wrinkles around here. And yeah, I haven't got too many at the bottom, but at the top. And don't use straws, because that and smoking will create really deep lines around your mouth. Do not. It's horrible. Anyway, here we go. Can you hear the concentration, won't you? One side is always more difficult than the other. You can always get this side done nicer than this side. It's more full, so then I have to faff around with this side until I get it somewhere near. And that pencil is by MAC, and it is burgundy. So the next thing I do is I put on this. This is by MAC as well. It's satin, and it is called Brave, because I am. And I go over the lip pencil, because otherwise you are left with some dark line outside, which I don't think is terribly attractive and looks a bit obvious. There. So what I do now, get a bit of toilet paper or tissue. And I blot them. Then I get some powder. And I dab them. And then I get my lipstick again. Now these lips, well, this lipstick will stay on for the rest of the day without touching up. Even if I drink, yes, it will come off in the cups or the glass or the whatever, but it won't come off in total. So even if I'm eating, it will still stay on there, and I will scrub it off with my toothbrush. So that's quite a handy tip. There, done. It's only taken me goodness knows how long, but you know, Rome wasn't made in a day, was it? And frankly, as I got older, it's become more difficult. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have been, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.